native of Honolulu.
And Ron Darling with a full week's rest, and in his past starts this season when he has had that kind of rest, is shades, right? Matching blue and matching green.
And White draws a walk to start the game. Last thing Darling wanted was to 2 balls and 1 strike to Roberto Alomar, and it slapped to the left side. Could be 2. The throw to second for 1, and they turn the double play. Last pitched a week ago Friday, and when he's had the long rest, he has come back strong. And he gets jammed. Good pitch, and Darling will call for it on the mound and make the catch. A rare pitcher's put out, and the first inning for the Blue Jays is history. Toronto nothing, and the Oakland.
Powerful stuff in the American League. He has got a slider. Now, most right-hander sliders have some.
Here's the 2-2 to Henderson. And a fly ball hit to right field, and Joe Carter is there to make the play, and Ricky Henderson, now 0 for 7 in the LCS, is retired for the first out. Mark McGuire 201 last year in a great turnaround, but here's a fella who was only at the plate 16 times last year because of a bad knee injury, and he lines a base hit to right field. So Carney Lansford gets his first base hit of the series, a 1-out single here in the first.
The best fielding pitcher in the major leagues. Guzman, one of the poorer fielders.
2-1 pitch and a ground ball to second base. Alomar over to Lee, and the return throw is in time to get Sierra. So each team has turned the double play, and after 1 inning here at the Oakland Colosseum, it's the A's and Blue Jays scoreless. Ron Darling, who's been a most happy fella here in Oakland after a couple of trades last year. Ground ball to the left side, and Lansford can't handle it, and Winfield's going to be aboard. It appeared to be playable for Lansford. We'll see how they call it, but the Blue Jays have their second base runner of the game. Outfield shaded around to the left for Olerud, and a breaking ball right at McGuire. Steps on the bag. They've got to tag Winfield, but the ball gets away, and Winfield is in at second. Al Weiss. And the ball gets away from Steinbach, and Winfield will move around to third. So a little shaky second inning defensively for the Oakland A's, and the Blue Jays have a runner at third base now. The 3-2 pitch again, and a ground ball base hit past Walt Weiss's dive, and Winfield will score, and Candy Maldonado has driven in the first run of the game, and the Blue Jays have taken a 1-0 lead. First hit of the series for Maldonado, and he made it count. Ground out to McGuire. Wild pitch sent him to third and scored on Maldonado's single. And there goes the runner. The pitch is taken inside to throw to second, and they've got him. Maldonado is out attempting to steal. Steinbach to Mike Bordick. And you go back to the acquisition of Winfield. Took something off the pitch, and Gruber strikes out. But the Blue Jays get a run. It was unearned. And in the middle of the second inning, it is the Blue Jays 1 and the Athletics nothing.
The Toronto organization, it was mainly his control. They didn't work any miracles with him. They just pitched it.
On the outside corner, fastball, and Harold Bain shaking his head, walks away, and that is the first strikeout by Juan Guzman. McGuire strikes out, now 0 for 9 in his career against Juan Guzman. So Guzman has struck out the first 2 batters here in the second.
Vertical bat position, likes the ball down. Just send him out to the mound. Most of the time you tinker with a guy's motion.
And he loses him. Steinbach draws a 2-out walk. First base on balls issued by Guzman, who was 16-5 in the regular season. And an opportunity for Willie Wilson.
Some pitchers like to embarrass hitters, make them look bad on a breaking ball.
1-0 to Wilson, and a line drive to center field. Devon White on a bounce. So Wilson now 6 for 8 lifetime, and with 2 out, the Athletics staging an uprising. Runners at first and second and 2 down. That's the second hit against Guzman. Steinbach is at second. Willie Wilson, the runner, at first. Fastball and a high pop fly down the right field line. Carter coming in near the line makes the catch to retire the side. So the A's get a hit and lead 2 in the. And a line drive hit right at Bordick. Borders to Bordick. 1 away in the 3rd inning. With 1 out, Blue Jays batting in the 3rd inning. They had an unearned run last inning. Knocked in by Candy Maldonado. Ground ball, and Bordick at second base. Makes the play. 2 putouts for Mike Bordick, and there are 2 down here in the Blue Jays 3rd. And he walks him on 4 pitches. So for the second time in the game, Devon White has drawn a pass.
Not very often you get by with walking a leadoff hitter twice. Now it worked the first time because Alomar hit into a double play.
Extended the first 2 games. He said he would run more, try more things. There goes White. Pitch is taken for ball. The throw to second base. And another great throw by Steinbach to Walt Weiss. So they got Maldonado, and then they get White. We'll return to the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum after this word. Walt Weiss leading off, bottom of the 3rd inning. 1 for 2 the other night, and he bunts the ball down the 3rd base line. A good bunt. Gruber's throw to first base is in time, and the ball looked like it might be going foul, and all of a sudden made a turn and curved and stayed fair on the infield grass. Remember, in 1989 he blistered Toronto pitching to the tune of 400. Gets a fastball and lifts it high in the air. This is in. We had clouds, they'd be in the clouds, and making the catch is Alomar for out number 2.
Talked about the atmosphere here in Oakland.
Jerry Brown might get a shot in the number 2 slot. Carney may get a breather, possibly tomorrow. Pops this one up. Short right field. Alomar is called off by Carter, and a 1-2-3 inning by Juan Guzman. So after 3 here at the Oakland Coliseum, it's 1-0. Top hitter against the A's during the regular season, hitting close to 400, so he's a big threat. And he hits a drive to left field. Going back is Ricky Henderson. Way back for Henderson. It's gone. A home run for Robbie Alomar. He went the opposite way, and Roberto Alomar has given the Blue Jays a 2-0 lead. His first postseason home run. He hit 8 during the regular season.
Many hitters could drive the ball to the opposite field.
And a line shot deep to left field. Back goes Henderson, and he makes the catch at the base of the wall. For a while, it looked like this might get out of here as well. But Carter and Alomar have hit shots here in the 4th inning against Ron Darling. Bounding ball. This time Lansford scoops it up. His throw to McGuire is in time. Winfield's retired for the 2nd out here in the 4th inning.
Here's Olerud in the same situation Alomar was.
3-1 pitch hit sharply right to Walt Weiss, and that'll do it. But a leadoff home run by Roberto Alomar has added to the Blue Jays lead, and in the middle of the 4th inning, it's 2-0. 4th inning, Blue Jays in front, 2-0. Sierra bounced into a double play and hits a line shot. Could be up the gap. Winfield dives, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Sierra rounding second and will hold there after Willie Wilson. Carter, that is. Willie Wilson got the ball into the infield. And he slots it to the left side and through past Manny Lee. Sierra rounding third. They're going to wave him in. Ruben Sierra will score. And holding it first with a single, Harold Baines, and it's now 2-1 in favor of the Blue Jays. the difference between tying run at first base. 2-1 the Blue Jays lead, and McGuire is hit by the pitch on the arm, and he's staring out at Juan Guzman as he trots down to first base.
Wow, they're going to come out and check Mark McGuire immediately. I mean, I know he's got some tree trunk arms, but when you get hit with a Guzman fastball, he doesn't want to rub it, but I'll guarantee you it hurts somewhere.
Still nobody out. Steinbach hits a fly ball to right field. Carter going back, and it's off the wall. Rounding third and coming in to score is Baines, and going to third is McGuire. We're tied at 2-2 on Terry Steinbach's RBI. A's have tied it up here in the bottom of the fourth inning and looking to forge in front. Here's a 3-2 pitch, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Second walk by Guzman. 1-0 to Borden. Slices it to right field. Carter is there. McGuire getting set to tag. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's going to be in time to get Mark McGuire as Borders applies the tag. Steinbach tags and goes to third, and Wilson holds it first, and the score is still tied 2-2 on a fine throw by Joe Carter. Here's the 3-2 to Weiss, and a bounding ball fielded by Olerud, and he will make the play unassisted to retire the side, but the A's tie the game. And after 4 here in Oakland, we're all even to 2-2. 2-2 the score here in the top of inning number 5. And he gets a high fastball driven deep to left, and it's out of here, and Candy Maldonado has given the Blue Jays the lead again, 3-2 with a home run. Leading off the inning. First playoff home run for Maldonado has considerable postseason action, and the second homer of the game for the Blue Jays.
I think next time Maldonado comes up to face Darling, we're either going to see a different pitching pattern or a different pitcher.
Kelly Gruber lifts a fly ball, playable for Ricky Henderson in left field. He's got it, and there's one out. So last inning, Alomar led off with an opposite field home run to give the Jays a ball dropped by Steinbach and makes the throw to first base. Darling has his second strikeout of the game, and there are 2 down. Ron to stay here. Here's Manny Lee, bounced out to second his first time up, and he hits a roller to shortstop. Walt Weiss eats it up, and the inning is over, but not before Candy Maldonado led off with a home run, his first postseason home run after many games in playoff action. And we saw him on the next to last day of the year, and he walked 3 times. Pops this one up. Bordick, the second baseman, looking up in the sky, makes the catch, and a high sky makes the out. Right now, let's check in with Leslie Visser. Les?
Dick, the expansion Florida Marlins.
And around a good ball club for so many years would make him a good candidate.
Lansford pops this one up. A lot of room in foul territory here, so Olerud should make the play, and he does over the top of his head, making the catch for out number 2. So there are 2 down. Here comes Ruben Sierra, and Roger Clemens has his scouting report. Came over from the Texas Rangers, and that's the other team that's interested in Rene Latchman to be their manager. Ground ball hit to the shortstop, Manny Lee, and a 1-2-3 inning for Juan Guzman. It's still 3-2 in favor of the Blue Jays, and we'll return to Oakland's County Coliseum after this word from your local station. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a line drive, and a base hit to left center field. Ricky Henderson up with it, trying to stretch it into a 2-base hit is White, and he is in there. Devon White with good hustle has a double to lead off the 6th inning for the Toronto Blue Jays, who lead it 3-2. The bunt possibility presumably is off. pitch in on the fist and a fly ball to Ruben Sierra. Makes the catch. White bluffs but goes back to second, and a good thing he did as Sierra uncorked to beauty to Carney Lansford at third base.
Good pitch to run on.
That is in the dirt, and the ball gets away from Steinbach, and White will go to third base. Let's see how they rule that one. Big opportunity here for the Blue Jays. Trying to go ahead 2-1 in this series, but Carter strikes out. Big pitch and a big out for Ron Darling. That is his third strikeout of the game, and there are 2 down here in the 6th inning. 1-1 the series standing. Someone will have a 2-1 lead after today. Winfield hits a high pop fly. Walt Weiss in short left field makes the catch, so a leadoff double, and White is stranded at third. Good pitching by Ron Darling. We're in the middle of the 6th inning. And he strikes out. Good fastball as Guzman challenged Baines. Foul tip held onto by Borders. And there's out number 1 here in the 6th inning.
That's when you know you have big as Mark is. His brother's bigger.
Don't want either one of them coming in the league. 2-1 pitch and a high fly ball deep to left field. Maldonado on the edge of the track and makes the catch. So once more, Mark McGwire has just missed hitting one out of here, and Guzman's a very lucky pitcher, and there are 2 down here in the 6th inning.
I mean,
bounding ball up the middle, and Manny Lee had it and lost it, and Steinbach is aboard for the 3rd time in the ball game. Terry Steinbach is
timed by the catcher. Good base runner can steal.
And a drive hit to right field, maybe trouble for Carter. Drops in front for a base hit. Steinbach is on his way to third base. He'll get there safely, and Willie Wilson has his 2nd hit of the ball game, and the A's have runners at 1st and 3rd and 2 outs. Here, and it all can't happen with 2 out. Singles by Steinbach and Wilson and Brown, and there goes the runner. Willie Wilson will steal unmolested. And yet another stolen base for Willie. That's the 2nd this game and the 6th in the series. So first base will be open, and the A's with runners at 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with first base open. And ball 4 locked in the dirt by Borders. The bases are loaded as Brown draws a walk. That's the 3rd pass issued by Guzman, and with the bases loaded and 2 out. First pitch to Weiss and a ground ball, and that'll be fielded by Olerud. He'll make the play unassisted, and the A's don't score. They leave the bases loaded, and after 6 innings, it's the Blue Jays 3 and the A's 2. New pitcher is Kelly Downs, who was signed by the A's at the end of June after being released by the San Francisco Giants. Ground ball, and Blankenship just in the game bobbles it. And safe at first base as Olerud, and that may go as an error charged to Blankenship, and it is. That's the 2nd error by the Kelly Gruber. Is the on-deck batter, gets a fastball to hit and lifts it into the air. Willie Wilson deep in center field will make the catch. Olerud will come back to first base, and there's 1 away in the 7th inning. And right now, let's go to Leslie Visser. Leslie? Morris, making his 2nd start of the series, was the loser in game 1. Goes after a pitch, slider away, and Ruben Sierra camps under it for out number 2. So there are 2 down here in the Blue Jays 7th inning. Toronto leading 3-2. Oakland pitchers have been on their heels today, with the Blue Jays getting the leadoff man aboard in 6 of the first 7 innings. There's a breaking ball line to right field for a base hit. And stopping at 2nd is Olerud, and Pat Borders has his first hit of the game. And the Jays with runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 down here in the 7th. Borders hit a homer in game 1. And Lee as well has a base hit in the series. Trying to get one here to give the Jays an insurance run, and it's passed Mark McGwire down the right field line. Olerud will score, and they're going to wave in Borders. He'll come in, and Manny Lee. And it is now 5-2. Lansford in a few steps at third base, and a fly ball hit to right field. Sierra going way back. This is hit deep, and Sierra makes the catch. A long drive by White, but 2 more runs come in for the Toronto Blue Jays, and in the middle of the 7th, they are up 5-2. There goes Henderson. The pitch is taken for a ball. The throw to second base, and the ball gets away into short left field, and Henderson will go to third. No one is covering third base. Now Ward comes over, and Rickey is at third base.
That's how Henderson gets to third.
And an error charged to the shortstop, Manny Lee. Lansford, and it's a fair ball behind third. Gruber guns it over to first, and a fine play by Kelly Gruber as he saved an extra base hit off the bat of Carney Lansford. And Henderson, of course, had to hold third, and there's 1 away in the 7th inning. High fly ball coming on over is Carter. In foul territory, makes the catch. Henderson will tag up, and he'll score, and it is now a 5-3 ball game. Sacrifice fly for Ruben Sierra, and a run batted in. And I'm sure Ward is aware of that. And a line drive, base hit to right field. So Baines is aboard with 2 out, and the tying run will come to the plate in none other than Mark McGwire. 5-3 to score. The Jays lead. Baines is aboard with 2 out. 1 run in already to sitting off a board, and a base hit up the middle for McGwire. Baines will stop at second base as White gets the ball back in. Back-to-back singles after 2 are out, and the tying run is in scoring position for Terry Steinbach. See if his club can stage a rally here in the bottom of the 7th. To left field, and it'll drop in front of Maldonado. Rounding third coming in is Baines, and now it's a 1-run ball game, 5-4. Holding at second is McGwire, and Steinbach, having a terrific day, has knocked in his 2nd run of the game. On deck is Lance Blankenship. But Wilson strikes out to retire the side, but the A's come up with 2 runs. And Oakland now has left 9 men on base in 7 innings. It's a 5-4 game. Game 3. Sunday and Monday games also this afternoon. Well, Winfield hung in there, fouled off several pitches, and draws a walk. So John Olerud coming up now. We've heard from Roger Clemens before by reaching on an error as 2 unearned runs scored for the Blue Jays, and those are big runs now. There's a line drive, base hit to right field. Winfield round second, headed for third. Sierra gets the ball back to the infield, and John Olerud has singled his first hit of the ball game, and with 2 out, the Jays have runners at first and third. It's in the series, and the only Blue Jay starter to go hitless. He's turned that around, and the ball gets away from Steinbach, and Winfield is going to score an insurance run for the Blue Jays. And it is now 6-4 in favor of Toronto. So this has been a game, the hitters you talked about, but we've had enough miscues to fill out an entire series. Made the 2nd out. Winfield walk, and Olerud single, then the wild pitch. So things haven't turned out the way La Russa had planned as Maldonado draws a walk, and now the Jays have runners at first and second.
Yeah, the key pitch was the Winfield had a very good at-bat, fouling off some tough pitches, and the key one was that
2 runners on and 2 out, and a ground ball hit sharply to Blankenship. He bobbles it. The throw to first base, not in time, and the bases are loaded. So Lance Blankenship will be charged with his 2nd error of the ball game, and the 3rd error. 3 errors, 3 unearned runs, 3 wild pitches. The story. Gruber pops it up. Borders pops it up, and McGwire makes the catch to retire the side. But a big insurance run on a wild pitch gives the Blue Jays a 6-4 lead.
He's a little healthier pitcher right now than he was then.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. And a line drive up the middle and a base hit for Lance Blankenship. Trying to atone for the 2 errors he's committed in the field. Blankenship is on, and that will bring the tying run to the plate. Walt Weiss. Terrific play by Gruber, threw him out. And a big hot Olerud going over to Manny Lee for one. The return throw, not in time. Covering was Timlin, close at first base, but they get the lead runner, and Weiss becomes the base runner with 1 out here in the 8th inning. And a looper into right field, charging is Carter. It'll fall in front for a base hit. Stopping at second is Weiss. So the A's are threatening again in the 8th inning, and that is the first base hit by Ricky Henderson in this league championship series. The A's have never led in this game. And swinging at the first pitch and lifting a fly ball to left field, Maldonado with a long run in is under it, and he's got it for the 2nd out. So Lansford went after the first offering by Henke
in most of his at-bats.
Line drive, and that's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run will come in. Ricky Henderson will be held at third base. Scoring is Weiss, and Ruben Sierra has knocked in another run to make it 6-5. A 2-out single by Ruben Sierra. Forkball could be a risky pitch to Baines. And a bounding ball. Alomar will make the play to first base. And that'll do it for the A's in the 8th inning, but they get 1 run. And it is now 6-5 as we go to the top of the 9th. Has been a big weapon today for the A's. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Lee, and he walks it. Every time the A's have come close, the Blue Jays have moved ahead with some insurance runs. Let's take a look at the line score. Look at the 7th and 8th innings. 1-2 to White, who has doubled and walked twice. Pops this one up. Walt Weiss looking up in that sun and very nearly lost it. Makes the catch for the first out here in the top of the 9th inning.
Ball 1 count. Alomar can handle the bat. Honeycutt doesn't want to go to 2-0.
Goes to the opposite field, and Ruben Sierra makes the catch on the line drive, playing in perfect position. Well, I haven't heard Roger Clemens give his scouting report on Joe Carter. And then each team scored 2 runs in the 7th and 1 in the 8th. And there's a line drive. That's going to be a base hit to center field. Wilson will retrieve it, and Manny Lee will sail into third base. So Carter stings Dennis Eckersley with a single. Only his 2nd hit of the series, and the Blue Jays have runners at first and third with 2 outs. 3 of Toronto's runs have been unearned. There have been 3 wild pitches. And a shot right back off of Eckersley. Slips, throws to first, off the mark, safe, and a run scores. Manny Lee scores, and it is now 7-5, and now they're checking to see that Eckersley's all right, as Winfield hit a brutal shot right back to the mound. Joe Carter on at third base. On at first is Winfield, a run in. And he's called out on strikes, and that'll do it. Eckersley gets Olerud, but not before the Blue Jays get yet another insurance run. And that was then, this is now, and Mark McGwire with a check swing, 1 hopper to Roberto Alomar, and there's 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the guy who delivered that home run by George Brett was none other than Rich Gossage. A save. We really haven't seen any real good pitching today. Here's the 2-1 pitch. High fly ball hit to left center field. Maldonado and White, and it's White makes the catch, and the A's are down to their last out. Their 6-game home winning streak in LCS play is on the line, and it'll be Willie Wilson. Johnson, the batter, who could tie up a one-run game with one swing of the bat leading off. And there's a ground ball to Manny Lee, and this should do it. And the Toronto Blue Jays have won the first game here in Oakland. They have outlasted the Oakland A's 7-5. And every time Oakland came close and tied or came within a run, they put the game at arm's length.